Hi, my name is Meg. I'm one of the Amphibian Keepers here at Healesville Sanctuary, and welcome to our froggery. Today we're going to go inside and have a look at our southern giant burrowing frogs who are with us behind us here. We also have our spotted tree frogs living with us in this facility as well. This facility is part of a conservation action to help protect these two species from extinction out in the wild. So let's go have a look at our giant burrowing frogs. So part of our work here when we're looking at this facility is to ensure that our climate system is functioning correctly. It's really important for these frogs that we maintain a consistent climate that represents and reflects what's happening in their habitat out in the wild. So before we head into our facilities, part of our job, which is going to protect these frogs, is to gear up in our quarantine or our biosecurity gear. And the reason that we do that is because these frogs are really sensitive to lots of things in their environment. The biggest one of those, which is one of their big threats, is chytrid. And so us gowning up and protecting them from anything that we can bring in is really important to help protect these frogs. We're ready. Welcome inside our froggery. Here in this room, we have 100 southern giant burrowing frogs who have joined us here from Melbourne Zoo. This species here, they're quite cryptic and we don't know a lot about them. Post bushfires, there's a lot of unknown about what their numbers look like, what their habitat looks like. And as one of the impacted species here, we're prioritising bringing them back into captivity, learning about their husbandry, learning about their behaviour, with the aim to breed these into the future and re-release back into sites. So here in our big enclosures here, we're holding between 4 to 6 animals. They will hide within this substrate that's in the name, burrowing, so we need to make sure that they have a really deep layer of pebbles so that they're able to burrow underneath that substrate like they would out in the wild. And then to finish off our enclosures, we've made sure we've decked them out with some nice live plants. That moss there also acting as a burrowing layer for this species who are quite cryptic and like to hide, as well as some larger plants to help add some size and variety to that enclosure as well. But as we learn more about this species, what these exhibits look like will continue to change and evolve as we're learning more about them here in our froggery, as well as out in the wild with our partners. They've quickly become one of my favorite frogs. I can't be too biased here because all the frogs I work with are pretty spectacular. They're just so unusual in terms of their large eyes, their beautiful yellow spots, and that really sort of, that cute, what we say is a cute smile with their mouths. They are quite unusual looking in a very adorable way is what I find about them. But other than their appearance, not knowing much about this species is a really exciting opportunity as a keeper. So to me, they sort of present the ability to learn more about animals that need our help and need our protection. So for me, that is one of, the ultimate achievements that we can do as a keeper here. That keeps us, it's why we work here, that keeps us passionate about what we're doing. And yeah, being able to bring a new species in from the wild and help protect a future for them is, pretty rewarding. What we also have with our facility, any frogs obviously living inside, we need to make sure we're providing them the best care that we can. So in order to do that, we need to replicate the UV levels that they will be receiving out in the wild. So we're decked out with our UV lights as well as our plant LED lights, which are behind them as well. We're able to program these lights to have different sunrise, sunset, and different intensities of different light spectrum and light color to provide the best possible care for these animals. We also have an irrigation line here, which is programmed to come on at different times so that we can help mimic different patterns of weather as well as rain events, and ensuring that their enclosures are staying nice and misted and nice and hydrated. As they are a land species of frog, we need to ensure that they're getting enough water that they'll absorb through their skin. Within this room, we're actually climate controlled, which we checked earlier before coming in. We follow here, which is our annual schedule, which reflects the temperatures that we think they'll be experiencing out in the wild, but this is really fluid. So as we learn more, this will change more. And we also have the ability to change the temperature that's in this facility every single hour of the day. So as we get really hot days or really cool nights, we will edit this and play with it to reflect as much as what they would be experiencing if they were living outside. Let's feed some frogs. Okay, so it's feeding time here, which is one of the most exciting times for us as keepers of the giant burrowing frog. And the reason is that we don't see them out very often. As their name suggests, they do spend all their time burrowing. So in order for us to see them, feeding is one of the best times for us to see them out and about, watch their behavior, watch how they're eating, look at their conditions. So it's one of the best times for us as keepers to see these animals. So here we have what is on the menu for today, which is some delicious crickets. So in order to provide the best nutrition for these animals, we actually add a little bit of extra vitamins and supplements. So this is just a multivite and calcium dust, which we'll sprinkle on the crickets before feeding them out to our frogs. So the first sign that we know these frogs are coming out to eat is that we'll sometimes just hear the pebbles moving. So that gives us an indication that they know the crickets are in there and that they're starting to move within their enclosures and come out of that substrate layer. So whilst we feed these animals, we're recording how many that we're seeing out and about because we don't see them out very often. We want to make sure that we're good at getting a good record of who we're seeing and noting down any abnormalities or any issues that may occur while we're seeing them feed. Thank you for coming along with us here to tour our new froggery facility here at Healesville Sanctuary and say hello to our southern giant burrowing frogs. I hope you've enjoyed meeting them and in seeing our brand new facility that we have here that is our first purpose-built facility for our critically endangered frogs at Zoos Victoria. Huge thank you goes to all our donors and our partners who have made this possible. We thank you so much. Without that, this wouldn't be possible.